Hello students, this is Rupali Bangani, Assistant Professor, ICMR, MC Department, Nigri, Pune. Till the point we have discussed about the array, how to retrieve the data from the UI form and how to display it onto the server side. Now we will retrieve the data and we will save it into the database and will retrieve the data from the database. So will require MySQL database. We have installed the XAMPP server. In that XAMPP, we will be starting a MySQL server, database server, which will be running on your port number 3306, and it will be open to your localhost PHP MyAdmin. And we have already discussed how to create a table and all. We won't be wasting our time in table creation. I have created a table already, student, where I'm having the table fields like our roll number, name, and age. Similarly, we are having here three fields: roll number, name, and age. Here we will be inserting the values, and after submitting, like I have inserted here 7 roll number with Dinkar with the age, let's say 23, and let's say submit. So roll number 7, Dinkar 23. I have submitted it. So it will give me the response as one record added, and on displaying the data, I will get the list of students which are available in my database. So I'm having these many list of students. So it is being displayed in your table structure. Now, how it is being done in your PHP side? First of all, I'll require a form where I'll require 3 text field for roll number, name, and age respectively. And for submitting, I'll require a submit button. After submitting, it will be navigating to a particular page with the method post. So that is what your HTML form through which you will be expecting the input from your user. But what you have to do at the server side, here we will be giving or we will be asking to insert the database server localhost. In this place, you can give the IP address or you can give the localhost as it is. So this is first parameter is for your server name. The other parameter is for your username. Third parameter is for your password. Right now we don't have any password, so it will be simply opening and closing double quotes, and then the last parameter we will be going with your database name. We are using here MySQL Connect. MySQL Connect method will accept one more parameter, database. So PHP 5 onwards, MySQL function is being introduced in your PHP. I stands for your improved version. In previous version, we were using MySQL Connect. So here we have given the database related information on which server, on which username, which password and database name we have given in a single line. If at all my connection is not being successfully established, it will throw an error. For that purpose, we have used here die function. If at all your MySQL throws some error, that time I will be able to retrieve which type of error I have got, and with the particular proper messaging, I will be closing this file with this die function. So your system will exit from the execution. So that is what your connectivity part. If my connection is being successfully established, then I have to fire a query. I have accepted the data from user on my form. So I have to include that form or data into the database. For that purpose, I will be firing a query. Insert into table name, values, and then we will be giving those values. I hope you remember we just have discussed in the previous session how to retrieve the value, as we have used here the post method equal to post. So we will be retrieving the value with the post. Otherwise, you can go with the $_request global variable. I will be retrieving roll number, name and age with the $_post global variable. And just observe in your database the structure of your table. The first parameter is of type integer. It doesn't have any quotation requirement. The third parameter is of type integer. It doesn't also require any quotes enclosing, but your name is of type varchar. So in your insert command, you have to enclose your name in your single quote. Okay, so for that purpose, I have given here the single quote. Otherwise, rest of the thing we have already worked on. In order to retrieve the form data, I have used here $_post. You can go with the $_request also. Now, after retrieving the data, it will create a string rather than query string, which need to be fired on my database, on my table. So how to fire that query? Using the function MySQL query. MySQL connect function will connect your code to the database. But in order to fire a query, I'll require a MySQL query function. It will accept two parameters. First one, connection object, which we had received earlier. Then the other one is what, the query, which is of type string, where I have retrieved the data from your form also. Now, once it is being done, then if you want, you can use here die function also. Otherwise, you can simply fire the query and then you can check whether it is being added or not, and one record added. After that, I want to display my content also. I want to display my data which is being stored on my database. So I have created a display db.php. Now, what is there in display db.php? We will be retrieving the data. So that's how we have inserted successfully into the table. Now we will retrieve. In order to insert, we have fired an insert query, but in order to retrieve, we have to fire a select query. How we are going to fire a select query? Through your MySQL query function, like we did in previous one. I have fired MySQL query for your insert one. So similarly, we'll fire the select query through your MySQL query function. Now, once you have fired a select query, it will retrieve you the set of records, but set of records will include the value with the column name also. So it will be kind of your result set, it will be kind of your record set. So from that result set, I have to fetch my array, I have to fetch my records. So it will be in form of your array, row by row array. So what your first row will contain? It will contain the value along with the column name, value along with the column name. For that purpose, you will be using a function MySQL fetch array, and at the end, we will be retrieving the arrays field name. So don't you feel this is of type associative array? Yes. So in that case, you may use here, instead of array, you can use here the function MySQL fetch associative arrays. This is also the same function in order to retrieve the row by row records from your result set. Now this will simply retrieve you the data from the query, from the result set. But in order to fire that query, you will require the connection object. So either you can go with this connection object, or you can have the separate connect.php file where everything related to your connectivity is being set, and then you can use the other database related operations. Why? Because your connect.php will make you everything ready. But assume I don't have any connect.php, that means I have to have all connectivity code written here, and then you can fire a query. This time also you will be able to fetch the data like we had earlier. Okay, so that's how your database data is being retrieved through the query. Now, how this table is being printed there? Because I have used here the table, then heading, and then TRTD pattern only to format my data. Even though you can format this in some different kind of structure also. You can implement some bootstrap table classes also here as per your requirement. So that's all for the data retrieval and data insertion into the database. Thank you.